Once again, it is time to talk about My Hero Academia's newest episode, and this episode was just so heartbreaking. Every single emotion in this episode was just so crazy, and I was so relieved when I found out that they didn't change the opening. Okay, next week we're getting opening 5, so that's gonna be cool, but this episode was just amazing. Everything was so emotional the entire time. I cried more in this episode easily than I did in the last episode, and that's just because the aftermath of the All Might vs. All For One fight just did so much to the world. So let's get into this episode. So the episode opens up and we're at a police meeting. The police are talking about the League of Villains, what has happened. So the League of Villains got away. Shigaraki has gotten away. They talk about how he's gotten more mature now, and that's going to be a problem. They need to capture them. So after that, we go to a talk with All Might, and All Might's talking with Gran Torino and Tsukauchi. They talk about how All Might still has something to do, and they talk about how Tenko Shimura, or Shigaraki Tomura, is the grandson of Nana Shimura. They talk about how Nana put her son into foster care because she didn't want him having anything to do with the life of a hero or the fate that she had of being a successor of One For All, of fighting All For One. So this leads into the aftermath. So All Might has this sort of feeling that he wants to save Shigaraki. Then we go to Todoroki. Todoroki goes into his house. He sees his sister Fuyumi, and they talk for a little bit, and she says how their dad's home and how he's been like this ever since he got home. And that's when we get to see Endeavor. And Endeavor, he's lit up and he's burned his room up, and he says not like this. He wanted to become the #1 hero through his own strength, not because All Might's gone. Deku goes home, finally able to rest on his bed, and he looks on his phone, hoping to get a message from the #1 hero, All Might, the person who he looks up to the most. Whenever he gets that message, he goes rushing out the door, and he runs to All Might on the beach. They run to each other, yelling each other's names. And while running, All Might says Texas, and it's confused me for a little bit. And then he punches Deku in the face. All Might punched Deku in the face to reprimand him. Deku, of course, came to the battle without permission. He wasn't supposed to be there, and he put everyone else in danger because of it, so All Might had to reprimand him. While All Might says all of this, he says everything could have been in vain had you kids gotten hurt. That it was a miracle that he didn't die. All Might then goes into his muscle form for a little bit, punching the air, and then immediately turning back into his skinny true form. Deku looks on in shock. He then tells Deku that he can't hold it anymore. He can't do that anymore. He can't be a hero anymore. He goes and he hugs Deku, saying he's so glad that Deku was able to get out of the situation without getting hurt. He's so proud of how far he's come. Deku is going to be a true hero one day. And All Might hugs him. As All Might hugs him, Deku begins to scream, crying his heart out, crying his eyes out. This is the moment when he realizes that All Might is no longer the #1 hero, and the stinging in his cheeks shows him that. All Might then sees a newspaper, not newspaper, but like a digital freaking article, saying that he probably shouldn't work at UA, saying that he should, since he's not a hero anymore, he shouldn't be at UA because he can't protect the students anymore. And that's when, they told him to do more. So All Might's still a teacher. He goes over to Kyoka's house and he talks to her dad, and he's all like, I don't know, my daughter got injured, and she didn't get injured, but then he starts talking, but then we get a quick flashback where he's like, oh yeah, it's such a cool hero, he's like Brian the son, and Brian the son is the person, or band, I don't know, who made the first ED of the series. So then we go to Bakugo and his mom, and Bakugo's mom is so quick to say, yeah, take him away, he's a terrible person, so just get him out of here, So that was fun. So Bakugo then runs outside after All Might leaves, and he wants to ask All Might something. He asks him, what is Deku to you? And All Might says, he's a student, just like you. He's my student. Saying, I'm sorry, Bakugo, I can't tell you anymore. Bakugo knows what's going on. Remember, Deku told him about the borrowed power. So All Might then goes to Deku's house. Deku and his mom are going like intense. Deku still looks up to All Might in that way of like just such a fanboy. We get to see into his room and like all the All Might memorabilia that he has and all this stuff, and All Might smiles at it. When All Might asks a question, his mom says no. His mom says he can't go to the dorms at UA. He's been getting beaten up so much more ever since he got his quirk and ever since he went to UA. She remembers when he was a little kid and they would play together, where he would pretend to be All Might. She would have much rather him stayed quirkless and looked up to heroes than him getting beaten up by trying to become one. This is just tearing Deku apart. All Might thinks it must be heartbreaking. You've grown up looking up to me, and you've grown up wanting to be a hero, and now is your chance, and you're being told that you can't. You've worked so hard to get into UA, you're finally accomplishing your dreams, and you're being told that you can't. Deku reads the letter he got from Kota, and he says, "It's fine if I can't go to UA, because no matter what, I'm going to be a hero." This is the moment when Deku cemented his dream into reality. This is the moment when Deku truly decided that no matter what, he's going to be a hero. All Might bows in his muscle form to Deku's mom, saying that he'll put his life on the line in order to raise Deku as the next symbol of peace. He looks at his mom and All Might saying that he's willing to do anything to raise him. And his mom just says, "Don't die. If you can promise me that you won't die protecting my son, then I'll let him go with you." We get a picture of UA to end the episode before we get the ending theme. And then we get an end credits. All For One says All Might missed his chance to die. He missed his chance to leave his student behind. There's no more going back. All Might missed it. Teachers are supposed to make it so that their students can go on without them. Everyone in the League of Villains looks at Shigaraki. All For One says, "You'll be fine, Shigaraki Tomura. Take everything that you have, the hatred, the regret, everything, and use it to move forward. Use it to create a new era of villainy. Next, it's your turn." Shigaraki looks up with a new ideal in his eyes, with a new path, with the true goal he has in mind, with the determination to make it into a reality. We get the preview for the next episode, and it's really just going to be a filler episode where they talk about the dorms. It's going to end with a very emotional bit, so prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves to cry, because it's going to be heartbreaking. Again, this show does not take a break from breaking your heart. So, yeah, they're going to be looking through each other's new dorms and how they're decorated. They're going to have a contest. There are going to be a couple people who don't go. Those who don't go are going to just be like the kids in class who are like, stay out away from me, explosions, fly. And then some are just going to be emotional reasons. But, I mean, it's going to be a pretty fun episode. It's going to be a good way to take a break. And yeah, going to have an emotional ending to it too. And then we're going to get straight into the super moves after that. And then we're going to get into the coolest version of Deku in the entire series. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your family and friends. Reviews. I need to talk about this. I haven't mentioned this. All reviews for My Hero Academia are moving over to the I Think We're Weebs channel. If you're watching this on the I Think We're Weebs channel, stay here. So yeah, they're going to be there from now on. All reviews are going to be on that channel. So go subscribe to that if you're looking for reviews. Animations will be on here. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye, everyone.
My mind rewinds. I just can't fill the hole inside of my heart. So let's get